Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Tonight we're going to talk about the first images from Wave 6 of MOTU Origins. We're also going to talk about our first clear pictures of the new Masters of the Universe Revelation figures from Mattel. All of that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello everybody and welcome to Toy Geeks, your place to talk toys Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, even though we're in Eastern Daylight Time. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, is John. John, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jay?
I am doing well. It is Sunday. I'm feeling just this week, like last week, there's a whole bunch of MOTU stuff to talk about, and then this week tops it because it's just been nonstop new MOTU figure reveals.
It really has.
So, as a Masters of the Universe fan, and I think it's the same for anybody else here in the chat or you as well. It's been a He-Man kind of week, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. If you missed it on Screen Geeks on Thursday, we talked about the new MOTU Revelations pictures that dropped. Really pumped about those. It was funny. It was the first time we ever had it as a main topic for Screen Geeks for He-Man, and everybody thought it was going to be you on it with me there.
Yes, I watched it.
But excited to be here with you, John, and we got chat's already hopping, going crazy. Free Reign is here. Dartherian, Jay Griffiths. Wait, hold on. Free Reign says even the wife is watching this week. Guess whose monthly toy budget just increased? This guy. Good for you, Free Reign. Nicely done. It's the dream right there. It's the dream. BMM 1984. Josh, Chris. Let's see. Brian, Adam Smedberg, Laka Framalama, Jump in General. Luis. Let's keep going. Holy moly, there's so many. Hold on. CAF is here. J Mac, KJ Smith, All Music Fan, Joe Rad, Macanita, Pop Actor. Is this Ralph? Pretty sure I did Jay Griffiths already, but just in case, Jay Griffiths again. Toy Doc, Beast Wars Wolfgang, Mr. Hootie Dean, and more. Howdy, says Mr. Houdin, and howdy to everyone out there. Oh, Alan Quesada Gomez, again, packed house. Pop Actor says my wife is banned to watch you guys. She thinks I'm mowing the lawn. Well, here's the thing, Pop. You keep dissing her on the show, so hopefully she doesn't watch this at all or ever. Brandon 3, what's up? Oh, Dave Chambers is here. What's up, guys? Good to see you, Dave, as well as Brandon 3G. So I assume everybody's here because we're going to be talking some MOTU. So why don't we waste no time and jump into it? First things first, just real quick, John, I got to get your thoughts on the reveal of the first images of the new Masters of the Universe Revelations, or Revelation, I should say. What was your thoughts there on those first images?
Much better, much better than everything so far. You know, obviously,
TV show stuff before the figures.
Okay, the TV show stuff. I can't wait. I cannot wait. It looks incredible.
Yeah,
and there was. It seems like every time you see new stills, they're framed a little bit wider. So that shot that had like Tila and sort of it wasn't in her normal deco. She was in like a battle garb of some kind.
You're talking about this shot right here?
Yes. So there's another shot of that's wider that you see other characters looking back at them.
What?
Yeah. And it's hard to tell what they might be. They could be mermen, not merman, but mermen. Oh, because the armor looks like it could be that color almost, but it could also be like palace guards maybe. So yeah, there's other shots of these that are panned a little bit wider. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, it just has me pumped, has me super pumped. And I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later in the day during toy hauls. But the gentleman that I got this figure from last week, he was back at the flea market this week. He's friends with a few people at Mattel. He saw the first episode, says it's awesome. So just every little bit more we get on this, get more excited. And yeah, really pumped. Really dig the images. And yeah, I mean, aside from some undercurrents of people being miffed about how Tila looks, which is lame. What's your thoughts on that, John?
I mean, it shows her in two different outfits or two different looks.
Yep.
It looks, there's a classic look and then that look where, she looks a little bit punk almost.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it's just different timelines. We're seeing, varying timelines, and Tila changes clothes. Sorry, people. She does.
And she's muscly. She looks badass. I'm sorry. Like, she's got a beast man up and all those guys. Like, why can't she be muscly? It's right. Fine.
She's the captain of the guard. She's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. But still really pumped on those images. And again, great time to be a Masters of the Universe fan.
Yep.
All right, first, let's jump into the big. Was it today or yesterday? The legendary Pixel Dan did a fantastic interview with Mattel. It was two gentlemen who we've seen before, but Ruben Martinez and Josh Graham, and they kind of walk through most of the reveals that have already happened, or the images that we've already seen with Revelations, the PowerCon exclusives. But we did get a few images on the Wave 6 figures for the first time. It's a great hour-long interview, a lot of great details in it. He asked some pretty tough questions, especially around the exclusives. Just went straight to it. So again, nicely done to Dan Erdley. I put a link in the description below. I'm sure all of you have already seen it, but still want to give major props to Pixel Dan for doing a great interview. But let's jump into those images. What do you say, John?
Yep.
All right, so let me pull them up here. And let me stop screen sharing for that. Pull these guys up. All right, so we'll start with this deluxe set. Now, it was hilarious that I think it wasn't Ruben, it was Josh said, it's like, oh, this is a Target exclusive, and all of us at home. A little bummed out that this pretty cool battle armor He-Man and Battle Cat set is going to be a Target exclusive. According to Josh, they're kind of figuring out the demand for this, and the Rise of Evil 2-pack obviously is not meeting demand, but they can still order more. So hopefully, Target will just keep ordering more of that set. It's not like they've hit the limit of what they're going to make. So hopefully that'll be the case with the Rise of Evil 2-pack. And with this set being a Target exclusive, according to Josh, that, hopefully they'll be ordering more of these to kind of meet the demand that they're seeing for this toy line. But again, that's easy to say outside of the scope of what we're experiencing. So we'll have to kind of wait and see if that's the case. So that's definitely a sad trombone. But thoughts for the actual set itself?
I think it's really incredible. When I first this first picture that I seen of this, I was a little why.
Yeah.
But after watching the Pixel Dan video, I kind of got it a little bit more. It's not just the homage to the artwork from the original 2-pack. It's the retooled He-Man head with the windswept, the look, the added battle damage on Battle Cat. But that base is going to, supposedly what they're saying, is somehow connect with the Wind Raider base, and then in turn possibly Castle Grayskull, the front side or the back side. And those dragons are supposed to be able to clip on to the turrets of Grayskull, maybe. So it looks like they're climbing. I just hope this is like another door to open for more multi-packs or gift sets like they used to do back then. because you know, as a collector, you kind of want those. Those are the pieces that you keep in the box. For me, you know, if it looks like that in the package.
Oh man, if they display it like this, like you know, kind of recreating that classic artwork of the Battle Cat.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing. Yeah, I agree. I found that interesting in the interview where they're talking about how, you know, they're thinking of these floor pieces could be floor of the Gray Skull, or Josh said it could be like your battle scene in front of the Gray Skull. And, you know, they kind of alluded to maybe the Wind Raider base and these bases, maybe they make more bases, could kind of link up to make the floor. The Wind Raider, and we'll look at the Wind Raider later. And it does look like maybe they could kind of sync up. Not necessarily that they're kind of like Lego pieces or puzzle pieces that connect together. But still, yeah, I think the base, I think the little, you know, dragons are really cool. The Battle Cat, I like the kind of pearlescent, metal-y looking armor. I think that's cool. I think the battle scars are neat. Is this the first time we've gotten like battle scars on a Battle Cat, or did it happen in 2000X?
No, I think this is the first time. Because even on like the Mechabyte Battle Cat and the other ones, I think it was just retooled, you know, or reused Battle Cat bodies with new tooling for the armor.
And even He-Man's got some like extra, you know, cuts there on his leg.
Yeah,
it's a fierce I think it shows the limitation of, hey, you have a nice big set of armor for your chest, but still no leg protection. I think he's going back and like, maybe I should wear pants.
Pants would be a good idea. What did I forget this morning? I got the underwear, got the armor. I put my boots on already.
The Vac Metal looks so good. Maybe it's because we don't see it that much anymore, but when it happens, we're like, ooh, shiny.
It really does look really good.
Looks so good. And then we've got a complete power sword. I think the first time that we've gotten the, you know, He-Man style power sword, the Keldor set came. Well, no, because now this even has the green tip on it. Since the San Diego Comic-Con set, and this looks like it does have the thinner handle versus the San Diego 2019 set, which had the thick handle, much like the Prince Adam set had. But still, really cool set. Lame that it's a Target exclusive, but what are you gonna do? And I think a few people have said it here in the chat, but the lack of ankle articulation is a shame, because especially like here, it's just like it's like instead of Battle Cat's, it's Mime Cat.
He's a mime in a box.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, He-Man, Mr. He-Man clicks, are this supposed to be injuries or just war paint? I assume they're injuries, right? It's battle armor. He-Man, he has the damage, so they're just going to show a bit more damage.
Yeah, that's what I assume. It's supposed to be blood scars.
Yep. Jay Griffith says this was their chance to add foot articulation to Battle Cat. I understand the cost involved, but that would have made it an absolute must buy. I can't disagree. Again, you know, they did, you know, give us some upgrades here, but it's just the tooling's probably insane to add the articulation to the ankles versus vac metaling something that already exists, or maybe give a new head sculpt. But you know, a person can dream, right? Mr. He-Man clicks in the Lego movie. Tila, where are my pants? Pop actor, I wonder if He-Man ever owned a pair of pants. Not in the old school world. They definitely had pants in 2000X, right? Wasn't Snake Armor He-Man? He had pants.
No, he just had a longer skirt, sort of.
Really? I thought he definitely had pants, but I may be wrong.
He's over there.
He
has one leg that's armored, and then one leg is bare.
Did they give us a price? You know, I honestly don't recall. I bet you it'd be the $29.99 price point. But that's my guess. Maybe it's $39.99.
I'm gonna say $39.99, a little bit higher.
Yeah,
we're gonna pay for that vac metal just like the flocking.
You're right. If flocking costs $15. Battle Cat giving out high fives, says Nelson. J-Mac, bring back the vac metal. I agree. I wonder what the skeletal version will look like. We know it's coming. Yeah, I wonder, I guess you could do black vac metal. Adam wears the pants. That's true. It's very true. He has the pink tights or purplish tights, pink purple. He had pants in space. Indeed, New Adventures.
That's right.
It's a little cold in space. A little cold. Yeah. Again, Battle Cat. No, is Battle Cat 29? I thought it was 24. But still, it's probably $40.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's see. Is the red on the armor blood too, or just reflective of the red armor color? I think that's just a reflection of the color. Like when you zoom into the picture, you can kind of see it's just reflecting the back of the Battle Cat's armor. So I don't think it's there, but and we don't know if it's on the He-Man could have the scars on the outside of his arms. We don't know because we're not seeing them, but we definitely see it here on his leg, which again, it just shows the flaw in his battle armor strategy of no battle armor for He-Man. But still, really dope. Looking forward to it. Bit of a womp. It's Target, but it is what it is, and we'll just have to do our best to try and get the figure.
Yep.
All right. Let's keep on moving here. The next one. Why isn't it going? Where are you going? There we go. Now, Webstor looks freaking awesome. And I love, and we talked about this when we first found out this figure was going to be in Wave 6, was it has to have the action feature. And we were concerned because the action features tend to be in the deluxe figures. But confirmed in the interview, the Webstor is going to have the pull string effect of the original one.
Yep.
And not only is it going to have that, but you're going to be able to wrap around the pack just like you did with the vintage toy, but it actually has a little clip to clip the hook to as well. So really pumped for this figure. I think it looks awesome. What's your thoughts, John?
I'm psyched. When they said, they knew it was coming. They knew that question was coming. Does the pull string work? I was so excited for that. Just the fact that they'll do that on a basic release figure, and not save it for a deluxe SKU. It's awesome. It's so awesome. I can't wait for this figure because when I was a kid, I had Webstor. I can't remember when his string actually worked. I think I broke it pretty soon after getting it when I was a kid, and then I don't think I got a working Webstor as a dealer, probably until like 5 years ago. Because they were always broken. Somebody always tried to fix it.
Yep.
But once you cracked the back of that pack open, that was it. It was there was no putting that thing back together.
Yep. Absolutely. And again, they add the little clip, just a little. It's so simple, but it's such a huge improvement on the original one.
Yeah.
And I don't even they did. There was a clip on the classics one, wasn't there?
Yes. Yeah, there was a clip on the classics one, and then you had to wrap the string around those spider legs. Because otherwise there was just tons of string. It just falling all over the place.
And that one did not have the action feature.
Right.
So it looks great. The blue just pops. Again, it's a favorite from the original line when I was a kid. Agree. And actually, it's up there, which is the magical action features just didn't make sense. Like it defied the laws of physics as a kid. It just didn't. I was like, how is this working? I don't get it.
I still don't understand it.
Right?
I'm a full grown man and I don't get it.
100%. 100%. Jake Griffiths asks, I wonder if Toy Boy could fix them, and He-Man Click says, Toy Boy did. Listen, Toy Boy can fix anything. Talk about magic. They pull off magic there on that channel. And if you haven't checked them out, check Toy Ploy out. Arguably the best restoration channel for toys on YouTube. Nelson says the magic is back. I agree. Laka from Llama says this one is my favorite of the bunch. I can't argue with it. I think it looks amazing. The fact they added the action feature and gave us a little clip for the hook. It's so simple, but it just goes so far in making this, potential favorite from Wave 6. So, the power of Lego. But anywho, all right. Well, let's keep the train going here. The Green Goddess. So this was, back when we interviewed Nate Barch on the channel, a famed artist for classics and did the amazing Grayskull box art. His favorite character is Green Goddess. In that interview, and you can check it out. I'll post the link after that. I probably should have done that, but I'm not smart. But it's there, an interview with Nate Barch. He talks about how this is his favorite character, and he kind of alluded to he wanted to do the art. I hope he gets to do the art for this figure. It is not translucent like the classics figure, which for me was a little bit of a... But it's so cool we're getting it. They kept saying like, well, it's very much based off of the original, like the classics look and colors. At first glance, I was like, I'm not feeling it. The more I've like marinated with this figure and looking at it, it's growing on me. But what are your thoughts here for Green Goddess?
I like it. But maybe refresh my memory if you know. What was the point of her being translucent in classics? Is there a point where she's translucent in the mini comics for like a Spirit of Grayskull effect sort of thing?
She just there was this kind of aura about her on the page. She's only in the one. She's only in the first one.
Yeah.
As green anyway. And so I think it. And if I'm trying to remember my, Scott Knightlick panel, what he would say and stuff like that. And I seem to recall just trying to make it differentiate it from the Tila figure that had already been released, and just kind of giving it something a little extra. But to me, the art, she definitely had an aura about her in the art, but it could just be the way the pencil and colors really popped, and they did on those, early issues, especially. But as we know, the translucent plastic was a big point of QC issues on that figure. So many of those broke at the hip. So, it could just be one of those things where they just didn't want to take the chance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the figure. It's super fan service, which I hope they just continue this. This is, a nod to the past, but hopefully a nod to what's to come. I really hope we get a lot of things like this.
Yeah. And some people here are talking about the shimmer effect, in the comic. They probably could have done maybe just a bit more, maybe use like pearlescent plastic, just something to give it a little something to make it pop a little bit more. But again, this is the figure against a stark white background. It looks like a lot of lighting on the figure. This one is like, I want to wait to see how this is in real life. Because I feel like it might turn out better in real life versus, these kind of press stills.
Yeah.
People here talking about the knee flaps are supposedly smaller on this in Fix, but I don't see the difference. I don't. They look very similar to me. Now I know I'm in the minority that I don't really care about the knee joints. It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, me
they
either.
Look very similar to what they are now.
Was it this one though, or was it the new Evelyn that they fixed the knees?
This one came after. I don't know. Did they say that in the interview? Did I miss that? I may have missed that.
Yeah, I thought that they said it was on the 2000X colored Evelyn. Okay. I might be wrong.
That sounds like very much it could be a thing. So during the Pixel interview, they mentioned they're going to fix / resculpt her knees. So there you go. All Music Fans said they said the new lower thigh, ankle, or knees would start with Evelyn. So if it starts with Evelyn, then that's before this figure because that's Wave 5. The battle of Evelyn. So. Pop Actor says the accessories are same as Tila. Kind of sucks. I don't mind as much because, I guess you could have done the more spear staff.
Yep.
The classics figure came with. Anywho, so we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I think that one I want to see in hand just in terms of the color of the figure. All right, let's move along here to Stinkor. Looks awesome. Love the shield. Love them talking about how they actually tried to make the figure stink for real versus the patchouli smell.
Right.
I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I think the patchouli smell is very much. I was it last week or before we talked about the McDonald's places and that vivid smell, that rubber petroleum smell. The Stinkor has a very distinctive smell. It's seared into our brain and our memories.
Yep.
I'm glad they're going that route. But what's your thoughts here on this?
I'm glad they're going this way too. Because really, once he's out of the package and you have him on the shelf, it will smell up the room for I would say at least a month.
You think so?
Yeah, the classics version smelled up my room when it was brand new for a good month.
Mm-hmm.
So I think going any other route was a bad idea.
Here's my question though. Like, that's you as a kid. I would assume your sense of smell was better back then. I mean, will it have the same lasting effect in our elder years?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because patchouli is such a unique smell.
Yes.
You know, it's not. I'm honestly not very fond of patchouli. I don't really like it. But for Stinkor, I'll deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris says I'll open Stinkor so his smell can hide my own odors.
Oh.
Jack Lord says Stinkor looks knock-kneed in his pick. I think it's probably just a bad pose there. Yeah. He should come with an airtight case to keep him in. Again, you just gotta. It'll be. Hopefully, whenever they do Moss Man, they should have paired them.
Mm-hmm.
They could have canceled each other out or something like that.
Yeah. Because I swear that's what it was like when I was a kid. Like one smelled better than the other, and it just kind of masked it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So still I'm really excited for this figure. I know it's a repaint, but if I had to pick, maybe outside of Faker, we should maybe do like our favorite Masters repaints, but Stinkor would be up there because it's such a lazy repaint.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just a merman buck with the mecha neck armor and gray skull shield. So it's so lazy. But oh my god, you paint it look like a skunk and you make it smell like patchouli, and it's a legendary figure. B-Dub says, so you'll smell it? And yes. In the Pixel Den interview, they said it will smell. It'll have the classic patchouli based Stinkor smell.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Davis says, would love a Courtney Cox He-Man movie figure. Hey, you never know. You never know. I'm still waiting for the Courtney Cox dancing in the dark. Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, the Bruce Springsteen video
figure.
I think I'll be waiting a long time for that.
But still, I think it looks great. It looks exactly how I'd expect it in my mind. Can't wait for it.
Yep.
All right. Last and arguably least, if you remember how much I hated the Lords of Power version of this figure, is the Lords of Power Beastman in a very different deco than his normal Lords of Power set or release.
Mm-hmm.
Which I kind of like. I really like what they're going for in this figure because the Merman they're going to release in Wave 5 it has less paint apps than the other one, but still relatively close to the original Lords of Power release. This one kind of goes after that original art or one of the original concept art for the figure. I'm going to show it now. Axel Jimenez is one of the artists for all of the Masters of the Universe Origins figures you've seen so far. He's had his hand, I think, in every piece of artwork so far. Did a great post on his Facebook today. Definitely give him a follow if you haven't already. But where is it at here? Here we go. He posted today. Here it is. Of the early Mark Taylor concept art for Beastman. So that is what it is based off of. The more yellow armor and the red fur. And so, going side by side, that's what it's going for, versus the Lords of Power, or the original release, matched that original prototype Beastman figure. So I will say, for a figure that I didn't like in this set, since he was $50-something when he spec'd it out, and he had no whip, no accessories, it was just the figure, and it looks like this is going to be the same on the retail release. I kind of like it just because it matches that original concept art. But John, what are your thoughts there?
I do like it more than the PowerCon exclusive one. But to your point, he needs a whip. And especially now that tooling is done, it's paid for. So is that whip's tooling, because we got it with the first Beastman. Give him a red whip like they did with the red Beastman from Classics. No more tooling needs to be done. It's there. Why can't they give us a whip? And maybe they will. This is just the promotional artwork.
You're right. We don't know yet. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm with you. I like this better than the Lords of Power release.
Yeah.
I'm not saying much, that one really ticked me off.
Yeah. This one just looks better. It's got some, the contrasting colors are much better on this one.
Well, and again, the other one it was a very similar paint, deco to the normal release figures, just different sculpting. Which again, that's how the thing with the Lords of Power set is it was trying to look like those prototype figures. And so your mileage varied just based on those original figures. And did you like those original designs? So I'm not going to ding it too much because that's what they were following, but I just didn't like it personally. So, Rock Farmland says, I like this head. Not a big fan of Wave 1 Beastman's head. It is different. It's like a closed kind of grimace face versus the open mouth of the original. I thought the new Beastman look was going to be from the early comics or back of the cover of the toy box. Well, the thing is, like with the red armor, you could maybe mix and match here. Maybe if you have the normal red armor and put on this one, maybe you kind of bash yourself one.
Yeah.
Like that. Or maybe that one will still be on its way to come. Who knows? Mr. He-Man clicks. If you saw my review of, it's the same sculpt. They do get in the way. Like it extends the hands because they're longer because of those was it gauntlets?
Yep.
And you can't really move them out, but there's no accessories for him to hold, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, a lot of Natalie and Bruglia talk. I believe the person that wins for first reference. Did I miss it already? Anyway, so here we go. Space Cowboy. Has anybody mentioned Natalie and Bruglia yet? Space Cowboy, you win for the night. Classic Extra says this is an easy pass. Well, here's the thing. Something weird has happened for me in this toy line where pretty soon I will have every figure released so far for MOTU Origins. And I have a problem, and now I feel like I have to have every one going forward.
Right. So does that mean you're going to hunt down a Crystal Pepsi Skeletor?
I was thinking about it today. I was thinking about it because once I get wave 5, I want to do a collective just check in and just let's look at all the figures so far, all the releases. I was like, God, stupid Crystal Skeletor. But technically it isn't a MOTU Origins figure.
Right.
But it kind of is. I don't know. Where do you side on that? Is it MOTU Origins?
Yeah, I mean, it is because to me, it is because they use the buck and all the parts from the Origins version. Because if they did like the vintage version, like it would look pretty boring because there's no articulation. But, like I said, you're welcome to borrow it for your video. I would say don't don't waste your money on that.
Well, what's the going rate on those now? Like, hopefully is it still really expensive?
I don't really look at it. I think I've seen a few buy it now is like 175, give or take, but I don't know if they're actually going for that.
Maybe I can find it at a toy show or something and try to like finagle a deal or something.
I bet you could.
Maybe, I got to be patient on that one. I can't do what I always do and freak out and buy it. I just need to be patient.
Yeah,
that's what I'm telling myself right now. So, John, remind me of that when I say, "Hey, I get this," and you're like, "Remember, you said be patient."
Patience, Jay.
Right. Right. You're right. The other figure, and he posted some pictures on his Instagram, Pixel Dan. Again, I assume you follow him if you're watching this, but if you haven't, give him a follow. But they didn't have any like production or, official retail images or anything. But they did show the Deluxe Mosquitor figure. He has an alternate head, kind of matches comic book appearance. Working blood pump feature. Energy drain effect attachment and swappable hand. It's interesting. The blood draining feature is smaller, like the battle armor figures.
Yep.
It must be something with the joint structure of the figure.
Yeah, definitely. I think where the pegs go in, right on the inside of the shoulders, I think they take up too much space. Not like the vintage figure had the joint was actually outward that the arm plugged onto, so it gave you that much extra space in the chest cavity. So I think with the plug joint, there's so much little space, but at least they're making it work. I'm really surprised that they're doing the blood pumping feature plus an accessory, the energy suck plus an extra head.
Yeah, that's a good set.
Yeah.
For a valuable vintage figure, it's one of the more expensive figures from the original line.
And I think I like that new head more.
I agree. Yeah, it looks awesome. The yellow eyes looks really cool. And it has this attachment. Like, that's really cool. So really pumped about that. I know that's, Pixel Dan's favorite, MOTU favorite, so happy he's getting that. But yeah, really cool figure. Really excited about it. A lot of great reveals there for MOTU Origins. I guess we should just do it. We're talking about MOTU Origins. Let's just finish it up. Let's just finish it and talk about the Wind Raider, which, I think you mentioned as we close out, because the back of the Buzzsaw Hordak showed the Wind Raider. We knew this was coming a while ago. It's shown as like a listing on Big Bad Toy Store and I think Entertainment Earth. And Entertainment Earth finally posted pictures, I believe, to their account. And now it's kind of widely spread all over the place at this point. But we have our first images of Wind Raider, and it looks awesome. Paint apps look great. The wings do attach, but it looks like a nice thick attachment that's hopefully is not easily breakable.
Hopefully.
Like you have to find 7 vintage Wind Raiders just to get 2 wings that aren't broken. So I think they've improved that. The color looks like, again, it just looks great. It looks like a small version of the classics one.
Yep. And they said it's pretty close in size too.
Yeah.
To the classics version.
Like, look at the detail on the inside. Painted chairs, controls, the stickers look great. Like, it's a good looking vehicle.
Yep.
And the stand looks cool too. Like, I really dig the stand.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is like everything is going to come with a stand.
Yeah, it should, right? They've done it with the Sky Sled. And it's funny, the Sky Sled had this sand effect.
Yeah.
This one has the gray skull effect. I wonder if they're ever going to go back to the sand or they're just going to stick with the gray skull for. Based upon what they said about just giving you floor pieces, essentially.
Right. Like, I think it would be awesome if we got like a base, even if it's not like a flight stand, for a vehicle that's land based. Like the Land Shark would have been cool if it came on something, that you could just display it on, like
Snake Mountain kind of.
Yeah, like Snake Mountain purple and lava.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon. Imagine the Dragon Walker on a giant base.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes. Agreed.
100%. I hope they're listening.
Please. Please. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, I this thing looks freaking awesome. Pop Actor says I want the full battery. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. No doubt it's gonna happen. Lock Farmland says I love the figures, but the vehicles are pushing it over the top. Give us every vehicle you can. I agree. Please do. I do want to call it. Josh said Fisto. We already covered Fisto a couple weeks ago at this point, but it looks great. They did show it again in the Pixel Dan interview, but it looks awesome. I'm excited about it. I want a Spy Door. Again, I think anything can happen. And Landro says, John and Jay, I have plenty of classics, MOTU classics. However, the Origins are just more fun to me. The price point, box art, articulation, and colors just pop. This line will be remembered as one of the best. I can't disagree. Like, classics is the best version or our action figure version of these characters. Nobody's going to argue that. But I think in terms of total package and the issues of finding them aside, hopefully that does get better. I know some people kind of gave them flack for saying COVID or whatever, but supply chains are messed up. They are messed up. It is what it is. And they're the places to sell toys in America are few and far between outside of the big box stores that just don't care about selling action figures, at least in terms of collectors. They're trying, but they do not care. And so you see in Canada where they have Toys R Us still. And I've seen images just as of today, a bunch of, the deluxe figures, land sharks. I don't know if they had gray skulls yet, but they're just way well stocked. You saw those Malaysia pictures, well stocked at their Toys R Us's. So the distro is working in some countries. It's not working in the US yet. And hopefully in time it will. We'll have to see. But still, I think the whole package is great. The classic art really does set it apart. It was the one thing that always bugged me about classics, but it helped make being an opener easier because I could care less about that artwork.
Yeah.
It was so generic and lame. I remember when I first saw it, when they finally released the image, I was like, why? So anyway. It looks really good. Looks really, really good. Okay. Any final thoughts, John, on the Origins before we get into the Revelation?
No. I think that's it. We'll save it for next week because if there's going to be more Origins leaking this week, we'll have more next week. But I think everything is going in a really great direction with Origins. I hope we get other characters. I want Snake Men. I want more Horde. I think they should release at least one character of a different faction per wave.
Yep.
Maybe go with less repaints first.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again, hopefully as time goes on, it becomes easier. Or it becomes easier to get them, and they have more funding to do more stuff.
And like we predicted. When we talked about Faker, the carded Faker with He-Man head, the vintage style He-Man head, we're going to get repackaged He-Man and Skeletor with that vintage style head and full swords.
It's awesome.
So they are listening.
Even though I do really like the heads on the He-Man and Skeletor so far, luckily there's plenty of them for me to just get some extras just in case.
Yes. I don't know why I bought so many. They're sitting right there. I'm looking at them right now. I got a pile. Battle Cats too.
Just hold on to them. Eventually they'll turn around. All right. So we've covered the Revelation toys a few times on this show so far. When we first got the Investors Weekend, Mattel Investors Weekend photos from the slideshow, which looked awful, save for Evil Lynn, I think was kind of our judgment at the time. It was Battle Cat, He-Man, Skeletor, and Evil Lynn. And we had some great images of, I think the first figure was the Moss Man figure. And then I think it was last week we had a little bit clear and it looks a little bit better. And I think you, John, said they're doing this on purpose.
Yes.
They're starting us like the worst images possible, and then eventually giving you the best looking images.
It's subliminal. They're going to just a little bit in our brain every time, and they're going to get better and better.
So we got clear images this week, only a few days after last week's show. And they look great. They look great. What do you want to start with? Out of all these, what do you want to start with? You pick.
I think we should start with He-Man.
Okay, let's do that because we trashed He-Man.
Yeah.
In that, because it looked bad. It looks really bad. But I'm with you in that he had the biggest glow up here in these pictures. I think the head sculpt looks fine. I think it looks great.
Yeah. The head looks fine. I think it's proportionate. He has a neck. You can see it now.
Yeah.
I really like it. You know, it's going to be that hurdle to get over, just like getting into 2000X when that happened. We need to get into this new design aesthetic.
But you know what, though? What I think that's different from 2000X is it was very much like the hyper stylized.
Oh, yeah.
These are not that much different than the classics figures or the original looks of the characters.
No.
It feels modern, but it's not that far off from the original.
No. Nope.
Which I think is the sweet spot, right? It's new, it's different, but it still feels like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is that's the needle you want to thread with this stuff, right? And I think this He-Man's a great example of that. He has the bigger loincloth like the 2000X. The sword is different for sure. The chest armor, he has the battle armor H instead of the cross. He's definitely wider in the middle section. But it looks far more proportionate in these pictures than those earlier images had.
Yeah. He actually looks more proportionate than any other He-Man figure that's ever been made, I think.
Yeah? Well, expand on that a little bit. Why do you think that?
His waist up through his lats, and then the width of his shoulders. He-Man has always had such a V-taper, like, or not just He-Man. I mean, they use the buck for everybody.
Yeah,
you know, they all had that massive V-taper where it looked too obviously his bodybuilders that all look like that.
Yeah, Skip Leg Day, is that what you're mentioning?
Yes. Yeah, but he looks like proportionate up and down. You know, he looks so much better, I think, than any of the others. Not saying I don't like the classics look or anything because it's unique to them.
Yeah.
But now that we see him out of the package after trashing him for so bad, I completely take it all back. And it looks really good.
It does.
I like how they're doing that ab crunch the way that they're doing it. Very similar to what McFarlane's doing with Batman.
It's kind of the modern ab crunch, right? Because the classics had the old fashioned kind of just hinge joint.
Yep.
And this is very modern. And I like the way this cuts much better than the kind of little, what do you call that crunch? Is it T crunch or like, what do they call that?
Just ab crunch. It's just like a straight ab crunch. I don't know what I assume there's a term for it, but this looks so much better.
Brandon Dave says, is that Arnie from Conan? A lot of people are saying Dolph Lundgren. But yeah, I think it looks great. I really dig it. I'm really pumped about it. I will share the figures of the full packaging because I think they did these little rotating shots you mentioned to me yesterday when we were on the phone. I do want to share that because the artwork looks really awesome in the back. It's kind of plain Jane on the front, but the backs look really great. So we'll share that in a minute. But overall, yeah, I really just on this alone, I'm like, all right, I'm buying all of them.
Yep. I really think they just left the front plain like that because once they go into anything other than Revelation into the Masterverse, you know, it's that canvas. It's just blank. It'll be blank for whatever, you know.
100%. But I really dig it. I love the Masterverse figures. All right, let's go along here because we do have more. Let's see. Stop screen. Let's go to the next. All right, what's the one you want to do next? You pick.
Evelyn.
Evelyn, let's do it. Again, nobody was upset that Evelyn had buff arms. Everybody that needs to chill out. Where did Evelyn go? Where are you, Evelyn? I'm missing you. There you are. Again, looks great. Love the paint apps. The paint apps look fine. If these are at $19.99, the paint apps look great.
Yep.
I love the just the the exposed hair look. It looks so good.
I really like this figure.
Good.
It looks so like Lord of the Rings D&D.
It feels very Magic the Gathering. I'm trying to remember the water guy. Is it Jace? It's been a minute since I played MTG, but I agree. It does have that look and feel. I love the extended staff. I love all the accessories.
She has a much better, I think, Masters of the Universe, science meets, mythology world, I think this could be one of my favorite Evelyn looks.
Yeah, I agree. J-Mac says, I think they could have done better. Doesn't look like a premium adult collector. I think it does. I think if you had these side by side with, if we're saying maybe the cream of the crop of adult collectibles, right? You got McFarlane and the Legends and Black series. I think this goes toe to toe with that more than the Jurassic Park Amber collection, which has gotten better, but it's still not great compared to what McFarlane and Hasbro's done.
Yeah, and those Jurassic Park figures, they have actual real life faces to go off of, not just animation. So the things that do have like something to scan, something real to scan, we know that technology is there. Yeah, they're just not using it to its potential with especially those Jurassic Park figures. So I think for basing these off of animation as a collector series, I think they're on point.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Darth Vader is like Jace and Liliana. Yeah, it is kind of a combo of the two. Josh says, "Real question: where staff glow? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. You never know." Did you see the figures for the new kids show? Yes, we'll talk about those two today. I'll pull those up. Those look like the really like cheap $5.99 or $9.99 figures. I don't think those are like normal release figures. Those ones that we've seen so far, but I think they're fine for a cheap kids toy, to be honest. Yeah, Liliana Vibes, I think it's a good call out. Jace Belarin, thank you, is the last name there. So $24.99, which is a little bit more than they said $19.99 originally. But I still think all the accessories you get, I think that's pretty good. $39.99 for Battle Cat and $29.99 for Scale of God. All right, who do you want to do next?
Do you want to do Scale of God next?
Yeah, I think that was the big surprise from these reveals, right?
Yeah.
So let's do Scale of God. We don't know. Do we know for sure the backstory here yet? Or are we still waiting on that?
Yeah, I think we're still waiting. There was one of the DC comics a long time ago. There was sort of a look that was like that, but not that exact. So I assume maybe they pulled from that, for the show. But it was more so just a look. I can't remember what his the backstory is, but he's got the power sword.
Yep,
like He-Man's power sword. So is this what happens when Skeletor gets the sword?
Something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. Sure. But I dig it. It's a big hulking figure.
I really like this figure.
Yeah.
And it's got a soft goods cape.
It's like doubled up too. Look, as you can see or maybe they painted it different there, but
it looks like it's doubled up.
Yeah. So $30 for that? I'm in because I'm a sucker. Yeah, it's interesting. This kind of H formation on his chest is very He-Man-esque.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's part of him taking the sword or something, and that kind of gets emblazoned on his chest.
Yeah, maybe it's like light burning out of him or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, and he's got that sort of that glowing up around the bottom of his under his neck too.
Ooh, I like this idea from Bernie Davis. I feel like this Skelegod is actually He-Man gone evil.
Oh, maybe he was combined with He-Man, much like
Mm-hmm.
Demo Man was combined with Keldor.
Yeah,
to save Keldor.
because again, there's this to me was like that's the He-Man H, right? That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So my original thought was, okay, yes, he gets the power sword, and maybe that's coincides or something. But that's I like that theory, Bernie.
Me too. I hope that's what it is.
That'd be really cool.
If that's what it turns out, Bernie gets a star.
Yeah, Bernie gets the credit on that one. Yeah, the translucent there under the skull, I think it looks really, really cool. I really dig it. So that Joseph says they said Revelation is going to be dark. Skeletor finally attained the power of Grayskull would warrant that. Agreed. I like the color of the hilt of the sword. I agree. It has that kind of leather around the hilt. That's awesome. Riley Bob says Skelegod looks like the character out of the movie Legend or Dark Crystal. Super rad. Agreed. Frank K, is that Panther on his crotch? It does have eyes.
It does. That
is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I thought maybe it's more of just like the on a hip bone joint or whatever. There's the two holes for the leg socket. That's kind of what I thought that was.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
maybe that is.
He's got the eyes on his shins too, so it's probably just eyes.
They skinned Panther for a little loincloth.
Reminds me of God Skeletor from the movie. Yeah, it definitely had like the Frank Langella end of the Dolph Lundgren movie kind of, even though it's a completely different color scheme, but kind of the souped up. Gary says, I feel like his knees and his crotch are watching me. We need a parody song. It always feels like Skelegod's knees and crotch are watching me. Oh, Lord. Eyes for days. Josh Ruth says, I have eyes in my crotch. Doesn't everyone? Josh, I think you should see a doctor.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I think you should go see one.
And there might not be eyes.
Yeah. Ew. Getting Spawn vibes. Definitely, this is a very McFarlane-esque kind of figure, and I dig it. I'm here for it. All right, let's move along. I think we've got two left here, John. What do you want?
Skeletor, regular Skeletor.
Yeah, keep it on theme. I think Skeletor looks good. I really dig the whatever plastic they use for his skull.
Yeah,
it looks like an actual skull, which is cool.
Yeah, it looks like they sculpted a skull and then put it inside the hood rather than do the sculpt the hood around the skull. It looks really good.
Yeah, I think it comes across really well. The Havoc staff looks great. I think the cape looks a little cheap, just how they cut it.
Looks like a dryer sheet.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'll stand by that. But overall, I think it looks really good. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And remember the hands that we saw early on? The flat hands?
Yep.
Flat hands no more.
And they're still using some of that artwork in some pictures.
Oh yeah, the flat hands?
Yeah, so I'm a little scared because some of them, the fingers look way too long, like freakishly long.
Space Cowboy Skeletor has a definite dad bod. I don't know. To John's point, and I'm going to trust John on this because you work out and do workout things. I don't. I want to trust your judgment. That this is a better proportion, muscly dude. And that's your thoughts here, right,
yes.
John?
Yep. I think they are really well proportioned, much better than the Origins and Vintage and Classics. For what they're supposed to be, I think they have a better proportion.
Yeah,
I like them.
I do too. But Skeletor looks dope. All right, moving on. We have Mossman and Battle Cat.
Battle Cat.
Ooh, we're gonna jump the gun here on the Beast. $39.99, so it's pricey, but it's big by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, the Classics Battle Cat was $50, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I remember I was in class in college on the school Wi-Fi and was trying to, place the order in class. And I got the order in. And I remember it sold out in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, the
really
first one it did.
It was really stressful, but I got it in just in time. Again, this was one of the first images. I didn't really dig it. It looked more like a bulldog, but again, it looks better here. It looks really good.
Yep, it does. And without the helmet, if you go to that picture right there, they sculpted channels out of his lower jaw. So when his mouth is closed, the teeth actually, or the jaw closes all the way.
Yeah.
And the teeth actually go around it.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the first thing I noticed, because it actually looks like a pretty good cringer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, they have 2 head sculpts, but you're right. They've sculpted the mouth, so it fully closes. It's not a weird kind of.
Yeah,
that's an impressive
just exposed teeth. Yeah, I like how they did that. They just made grooves, and the teeth fit into those grooves.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. So $39.99. It looks great.
Yep.
And I think it comes out in August.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a teaser. Maybe there'll be a review on my channel soon for this figure. Maybe. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But there might be a chance.
So you're telling me there's a chance
that we will have a early look at this figure on the channel very soon. Maybe next week. I'm just saying.
I can't wait for this one.
Anyways, Colin says, is he talking about PowerCon and the 30 seconds gave me to decide? Yeah, I totally bought tickets.
You did tell me right now.
And I asked you about it. You got to do it. It's awesome. You can do it. Do it. I'm like, okay. And then I told Colleen, I was like, do you want to do this? It's in Anaheim. We go see family and then go to this. And she's like, what? I was like, well, I want to buy them now because I don't want to miss out. They're selling out. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, they're only $30 for the tickets. It's fine. So I totally. So I bought tickets for Saturday, and I bought you could say like I commit to picking up the figures. So I'm in. We're in, Colleen.
You're gonna love it.
I don't know if Colleen. I told her, I was like, you can go do something else. Just let me hang out with my geek friends. Caesar might be going, who's on this chat from time to time. Since we had company over, and I was like 1.5 glasses of wine deep, and he's like, we need to decide now, but we also have to say yes. Mr. He-Man Clicks makes a good point here. 2-seater saddle. The figures are bigger, I don't know, but it does kind of have space. You maybe put a male and a female figure there. I don't know.
Could be, yeah.
Anywho. So Battle Cat looks dope. All right, last but not least. Moss Man. Looking mossy.
Yep.
Looking mossy.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks so good. And Alan Oppenheimer doing the voice, which is interesting. The legendary voice of Skeletor is doing the voice of Moss Man, so that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, the figure looks great. This armor, this hand attachment accessory looks awesome. Head sculpt looks great.
I love the I don't even know what you want to call it. They're like tree limb fingers, but they have different positions.
Yeah.
It's oh man.
He's
and
got
his feet too.
Yeah. He has 3 sets of hands. And this cool branchy hand effect. It looks cool. So it's not flocked. The
Nope.
$50 flocked version's coming at some point. I assume he doesn't smell like pine scent.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. But it looks cool. It looks really cool. But, are we lamenting the fact he doesn't have a wooden club?
No, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think this new direction where he's much more vine and branch oriented. I think we can get a Moss Man accessory pack with nothing but like vine traps and things. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Scott D says Swamp Thing or Man Thing copy. We talked about that last week. Definitely has a Man Thing vibe for me more than Swamp Thing, but I'm cool with it.
Yep.
Also, Gary says Moss Man or Groot. Definitely has a Groot feel as well. But I dig it.
I really dig this guy. I think this might be my most anticipated figure to have in hand.
He looks like John. Really, this is interesting. Pop Actor. He thinks this figure looks like you.
Maybe that's why I like him so much.
Oh man. So okay, you did it, Mattel. You made me have to take back my word. It looks great. They look really good, and I'm 100%. I did want to show. They show these cool little rotating videos of the artwork, and the artwork looks awesome. Let me pull this here. I think it was on the last bit. So it has it on the sides, which looks really cool. And look at that back of the Battle Cat.
That looks so good.
Oh boy. So freaking cool.
It's so much better than doing generic card backs.
Yes. So
good.
That looks good. And then Skelegod. Does it say? Let me see if we can read very quickly. Skeletor has his life with singular purpose. Oh, okay. All right, I have to go around again. And here we go. To control the unlimited powers of the entire universe time after time. He has okay. All right, we got it there.
Right. It's almost here.
Almost there. What kind of monster would be unleashed? God dang it. Can I pause it? Oh, I could. All right, hold on. Let's take it back around. I just got to stop it. I don't know why I'm trying to read as it goes around. All right, here we go. You ready? And okay. It's a little blurry. Time after time, the brave of Eternia was thwarted by... Oh, sorry. Of Eternia was heroic warriors. What kind of monster would be unleashed should they be unable to stop the Lord of Destruction? Surely a raging storm of horror and terror, even the bravest dare not even imagine. So it kind of goes to the point, right? It's just like, what would happen if he won? Which is what Skelegod is.
It still doesn't clear up exactly why he is.
True. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool stuff for sure. I'm trying to think of who had the pictures of the Pixel Dan share it. No, he didn't. Of those kid figures. But they look good.
I saw it on Planet Eternia, the German one.
Or the website, Planet Eternia? Yeah,
on Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram. Hold on. We'll Instagram, Google it. I wasn't following them. There you go. All right, here we go. Again, they look like those kind of cheapo dollar store, not dollar store, but I don't know, like something you can find at a CVS or something like that.
Yeah. This is totally just for kids.
Yeah.
I probably won't pay any attention to these. I say
Skeletor
that
looks
now.
interesting. This is the first time we've kind of seen what Skeletor look like. He looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like that deluxe whatever that He-Man is there. That looks. I don't even know.
That's Battle Armor He-Man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, no thanks.
Yeah, it's the kid line. Let him have at it. Just
you might get one for your kids and they might love it.
Yeah.
And then that proves the point of these figures.
Yeah, exactly. We've got Revelation and Origins, and they can have this. They can sit at the kitty table. We'll have the cool crap. But I do think Skeletor looks good. I agree. I think Mr. He-Man says I like the hood. I agree. Where the scale, these look like those 9-inch figures. Again, like they're like $10.
Yeah, like Titan Heroes or whatever they are.
Yeah, every toy line has them, right? Marvel, DC, they all have like those 12-inch, 10-inch, all $10 figures. So, T Ponder says this is outside of the box here. A vintage sewer layer playset went up for $50 plus $3 for shipping. It's just missing the elevator. I'm debating on getting it. John, what do you think?
That's not a bad price. The elevator isn't rare.
No, it's not like the spike ball or something. If it has a spike ball and that little piece that for some reason is there to go on the fire hydrant, which it never will.
It's just that it's like a cap thing, isn't it?
It's supposed to be like the cap to the hydrant just sitting on the floor. They made it a separate accessory.
Yeah, and if the cardboard fence is in good shape, I think that's a good price. If you're buying it for yourself, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Do it, T Ponder. Do it. All right. And then one last thing here. Joe Amato, the legendary Joe Amato, sent me a message on my Instagram saying he saw our video. And shared some of his copycats that he's done. So
that's awesome.
Done a lot of cool copycats before. He called it copycat. If you notice in the interview, I was vindicated because Ruben Martinez was like, "Oh yeah, copycat," and we find out it's Josh Graham's fault. It's called duplicate because, like, oh, I'm sorry, the marketing mind just maybe overplayed that one a little bit.
I think it's one of those things. Call it what you want to call it once you own
it. But Joe, who I assume now watches the show, big fan of his work. He does great stuff. I've
been following him for years. That's awesome.
We gotta have him on the show sometime because his customs are awesome. I definitely. My favorite is this Cookie Monster one. I need to enlist him to make me one of these. It's so cool. And then he did a real this Stay Buff.
The Stay Puff. Yep.
Is so good. That's awesome.
Stay buffed.
Stay buffed. Anywho. All right. I think that covers everything, John. Holy moly. A whole show of just MOTU reveals. That shows you how deep and thick this week has been.
When's it gonna stop?
Oh, I love it. Let's keep going. All right, John, it's time for toy hauls. Did I go first last week?
I think I went first last week because you went the week prior because I had nothing.
Okay. All right. So this week went to Target and they had a new Boba Fett. So I picked that.
Nice. Awesome.
I'm excited for that. Since Hasbro Pulse sold out before I could buy it there. I paid $50 just because I want to burn money. And then, so the same gentleman that I bought those figures from last week, I got a Black Series figure and a couple of MOTU figures and a pop. Everybody jokes he just like fell off the back of the bus. Really cool dude. He was there again, got some more stuff. I asked like, what's your store or whatever, so I can like shout you out on the show. His intention was to originally open a store in Greensboro, North Carolina. I think and COVID kind of derailed that. So he's been selling stuff I think on Instagram, and Macari has been his place. But his store is called Nerd Bombers. I can't really see it. But anyways, Nerd Bombers. So if you want to check him out, Nerd Bombers, give him a check out. But he had shipper cases of the Clamp Champ, which I already got my BBTS Clamp Champ. but you still needed a Clamp Champ, so I picked one up for you.
Thank you.
And this was fresh from the shipper.
Untouched.
So nice. Choice. And he also had another Black Series figure. I'm loving Bad Batch on Disney Plus. And so I picked up, he had a Bad Batch figure there. So I picked one up here. This is Hunter, the leader of the group. So $15. I'll do that all day.
That figure looks really good. Those Bad Batch figures all look good.
Yeah, they do. Are you watching that? I don't know if you're watching it.
I watched the first one. I haven't gone back yet, but I like it.
It's good. I really dug that storyline in the final season of Clone Wars because that's where they're introduced. So I'm really digging it. All right, John, it's your turn. You we talked on the phone yesterday, and you teased.
I teased, but let's go a different direction first.
Okay, all right.
I finally got myself a set of the retro Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
These have been going up.
Really?
And yes. Yeah. They're going for I want to say they're going for at least $80 a set right now. But they're steadily climbing because they're disappearing from Walmarts. There's
interesting.
So I knew I was going to a Walmart that had some left, and they hadn't discounted them yet. I think that's why they've been disappearing.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going there, so I'm like, if they have all four, I got to get them. I don't care if I'm paying retail because I almost paid more than retail on eBay on Thursday because I was like, should I just pull the trigger and get these while I can? But luckily, the Walmart had a full set left.
Yeah.
Wow. I was there 2 weeks ago, and they had, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 full sets.
Wow.
And they were down to one full set.
I wonder if they'll do any more, with the Ecto 1 coming out. I don't know.
That's what I figured they might have, but I don't know. Maybe because some Walmarts discounted them so deep.
Yeah.
They might not.
Scooping them out. That's awesome. I have a few sets, but now I'm like, well, maybe I should get one more set. I don't know.
Well, I had bought, I don't know, 5 sets at least.
Yeah.
And
I got a set from you at one point.
I think you got 2 sets. You got 2 sets from me because you got
that sounds right.
You got the with the yellow lettering and then without.
Probably.
And then every time I seen a set when it was still early, I bought them and then I flipped them real quick. All right, so when was that? 3 weeks ago when we talked about your Kenner catalog?
Yes.
And in that we talked about Bone Age.
Did.
And oddly enough, I got some Bone Age.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, these things are so awesome.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
A lot of people don't realize how big these things are.
Wow. I didn't realize they were that big. I've only seen pictures in a Kenner catalog or the little cross-sell guide that would cut the Kenner guide.
Right. So I got the T-Rex. I didn't get any cavemen with any of these. I got them in a lot on eBay. I got a super deal. I got the pterodactyl.
Wow, look at that thing. It's huge. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, that is so cool.
I got Triceratops, but he's missing one of his horns.
Okay.
Which they're missiles, actually.
Yeah.
And of course, you can disassemble them and build a tank or a fort, whatever you want.
That's so cool.
Because each one actually comes with wheels, and the wheels are just part of the bones here.
Whoa.
I think each one always came with 4 wheels anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had parts for a Stegosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all incomplete. And this lot that I bought had all the parts that I needed. And I did have the caveman for this guy.
Whoa, look at that. That's amazing.
You You got to get into these.
I'm having you have no idea how much like, oh, you selling these shirts? Maybe I should get them.
These ones are keepers.
Oh, I don't blame you. Those look so good. Looks so good.
I had almost a full set. I was missing one thing from the collection. When I did sell my collection back in 2017, 16. No, he doesn't.
Colleen, why are you watching this? Go do something else.
Jay would love Bone Age. It's so much fun, especially when the clips aren't broken and you can build other things.
Those look amazing. That's a great find. And so cool to like see like how big those are, because again, it's only the images on pictures, so I always assume they're like maybe I don't know they're that big, but those are huge.
Yeah, the Brontosaurus it's probably here. Let me get this T-Rex here. If I lay this T-Rex down, the Brontosaurus is probably like this much longer.
Yeah,
from head to tail. But the thing is, the clips on that are always broken because the weight of it is so much. Because like this guy probably weighs like, I don't know, 4 pounds. They're hefty. Like the plastic is all solid throughout.
Yeah. And you're not a small person. Well, how tall are you? Are you 6'3", 4? Somewhere in
Me?
there?
I'm like 5'11".
Oh, shut up! You're not that short.
That's short. I am 5'11".
Well, anyway, I'm 5'9", but when I hang out with you, I feel like I'm a little guy. Oh my God! Adam Smeber says, "Go for it, Jay." Jack Knight says, "Look, they look great, John. I never knew that big. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like John's not a small person. I guess is the point I was trying to make. And they look large. Like they take up the length of your shoulders.
They are really big. And then like the cavemen, they are a little bit bigger. I would say they're a tiny bit bigger than a mask figure. But they're very, muscly.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get that idea that they're in scale, I think, so that these cavemen would be human size and they are in perfect scale with the dinosaurs.
Colleen is shut up. This is her inside joke. She likes to joke that I'm 5'7", but I'm 5'9". My wife's a jerk. But anyway. They look awesome. If I find them in the wild, I'm on it. Colleen, I'm sorry. If I find them, I'm going to get them.
You should get them.
Okay. All right. Great pickups. All right. What else? What else you got?
That's it.
Oh, that's a good haul, my friend. All right. Well, on that note, then I think it's a good place to wrap it up. Nobody else sent any Stump John pictures. You got to send them in if you want to stump John. geekdadlife@gmail.com. Why are you here? Why are you messing this up for me?
We'll get you some Bone Age on the sly.
Yeah. She doesn't know what happens in this room anyway. You don't know. Anyway, all right. They're a T-Pawner if you want to say, but really, geekdadlife@gmail.com. Send your pictures to Stump John of an accessory, of a figure, whatever it is. Maybe you know what the answer is. Maybe you don't. Either way, we'll use it to try and stump John. Bullwinkle, before you go, I did want to post your question here to John about the yellow script, Who You Gonna Call, worth more than the normal release. John, are you seeing any differences between the Who You're Gonna Call lettering versus the non-Who You're Gonna Call lettering in terms of the price with it going up?
No, I haven't seen any difference.
Okay.
I think the one with the lettering doesn't show up as often, but I don't think it goes for any more.
Okay. And then Brad Brooks, are we going to get a toy room tour from John? I have mentioned it.
One day
to go over there, bring the 4K camera and have
One
John
day,
do a little
eventually,
tour of his room.
If you guys seen what this room looks like outside of this right now, because that wrestling collection, and I had to order cases of boxes to ship all this stuff in, and then the rest of my disaster, I'd be embarrassed for you people to see it right now. Ugh.
Well, John, you tell me when you are ready, when you feel like that room is up to, live in immortality on YouTube. We will do a tour of John's room.
It's also
it
feels empty too.
Yeah,
it feels empty because it's a big room.
It's big,
but half of it there's like nothing there right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it would be more of a wall tour.
Well, again, whenever you're ready, whenever you think it's up to snuff to where you'd like it to be, we will do a tour of your toy room. Again, whenever that day comes, I really hope, because the office that you're recording in before, that's like your office, like a normal size room, was it 10 by 10 or something?
Yep.
And there's in that office, there's a door that opens up into his toy room. And it's a big room. It's like an over the garage kind of thing. It's a big space. So the second I think you showed me your house or just talked about it, I was like, you need to have a secret bookshelf door to open into the toy room.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm planning it.
It would be so cool because it could just be like a shelf with some toys in it. And I don't know, maybe you pull down a Batman action figure and it like opens up and then you got the actual toy room. Again, yeah, make sure to like the video. Indeed, please like the video, like and subscribe. I'm only, I think, 60 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. So if you haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends to subscribe. I'm so close to 5,000. Not that I make that big a deal about it, but 5,000 is pretty cool. It's a nice kind of round number. So do it if you haven't yet. And hide the Playboys, John. Indeed, yes. geekdadlife@gmail.com is the email to send your Stump John pics. I think Chris says it well. Great show. It's a great time to be a MOTU fan. Indeed. Ring the bell for notifications. Indeed. The guy just subbed. Great show. Thank you. Yeah. Please do. All right. That'll do it for this week's Toy Geeks. We'll see you all next week. Holy moly, I feel like every week more and more MOTU stuff gets dropped. So will there be more before next show? I don't know. But if there is, we'll be here to talk about it, as well as all the other great stuff in toy news. I'm sure there's many more things to come as more San Diego Comic-Con stuff gets shown. But yeah, always fun to chat. Again, if you want to send in your pics for Stump John, let us know. T-Ponder got the sewer layer. Good for you, T-Ponder. Awesome. Let us know how it goes. Maybe send a picture once you get it. That'd be good. Alejandro, regards from Peru. MOTU forever. Totally with you, Alejandro. Awesome. The dude's lesser known cousin. Bring days later, guys. Send some. Okay. All right. That sounds good. Gary, have a great weekend, Gary. Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great Sunday night. Until next time, hasta luego and goodbye.